In this video, we will discuss about the third application of Gauss theorem, that is electric field due to uniformly charged spherical shell. Let us first discuss about the electric field lines for the case of spherical shell. This is your spherical shell whose thickness is very much negligible as compared to the radius, and the positive charge is uniformly distributed over the sphere. The electric field for this is always normal to the surface. If I draw all the normals to this spherical surface, it shows that the electric field for spherical shell is radially outward. From surface of the shell. So these are the electric field lines for the case of spherical shell. Now let us discuss the electric field. Now let us find the electric field. There are three cases for this spherical shell. The first one case is when the point of observation where we want to calculate the electric field is outside. This is our first case. In second case, when the point of observation is on the surface. And the third one case is when the point of observation is inside a spherical shell. Now the first case, that is P point outside the spherical shell. Here I have chosen a spherical shell whose thickness is negligible. Let capital R be the radius of this spherical shell. Here P is a point outside which is at a distance of R where we want to calculate the electric field because of this charged spherical shell. As it is charged, so I given a Q amount of charge to this spherical shell. Total charge on this spherical shell is Q, which is uniformly distributed over the surface. If it has a surface charge density sigma, then the total charge on the spherical shell is given by sigma into the area. So area of spherical shell is 4 pi r square. Now to find out the electric field at this point, I want to use Gauss theorem. To apply a Gauss theorem, I need a closed Gaussian surface. So here I have drawn a spherical symmetrical Gaussian surface of radius r. According to Gauss theorem, total flux coming out of it is E dot ds around a closed surface is equal to total charge enclosed divided by epsilon naught. So I divide this as a first one, left hand side, and this as a right hand side. Now left hand side, let us here according to the Gauss theorem, the total flux coming out of it, that is E dot ds around a closed Gaussian surface, is total charge enclosed by it divided by epsilon naught. So I took this as a left hand side and this is your right hand side. First we solve left hand side and make it equal to the right hand side afterward. Now left hand side says that total flux coming out of this is given by this equation. Here the direction of electric field and surface area from the diagram. So if we know that surface area is always radially outward for this one, and electric field is also outward. So both are in same direction. Electric field is outward and surface area is also outward. Both are in same direction. So the integral becomes E ds, as each and every point is equidistant. Each and every point of this one is equidistant from this spherical shell and symmetrical. So E is uniform or constant. So can be taken outside the integration sign. So as it is E total surface area. So this portion is total surface area of the spherical Gaussian surface. So it is a Gaussian surface. What is the total surface area of this Gaussian surface? That is E dot 4 pi r square. Now the right hand side says that 1 by epsilon naught times the total charge enclosed by the surface. So from this diagram, so what is the total charge? If you see this spherical surface, whole this spherical shell is enclosed by this Gaussian surface. So this means whatever the charge is given to it, that is inside this Gaussian surface. So I given here Q charge. So then the right hand side becomes Q by epsilon naught. So this is our equation 1. This is our equation 2. From 1 and 2, E 4 pi r square is equal to Q divided by epsilon naught. If we solve it, it becomes E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square. So this is your electric field. So this is your electric field due to spherical shell. If you want to write in term of surface charge density, so in term of surface charge density, so from here the total charge is given by sigma into 4 pi r square. So the electric field becomes 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught sigma 4 pi capital R square divided by small r square. So 4 pi get cancelled out. We are left here sigma capital R square divided by epsilon naught into r square. So this is your electric field in terms of surface charge density. If you compare, the second point we can note from here is, we know that the electric field due to point charge at a distance r is given by 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square. If you compare these two equations, this is electric field due to spherical shell and this is electric field due to a point charge. By seeing the formulas, the magnitude of the electric field and the variation of electric field is similar. So which tells us that the electric field because of the spherical shell at a P point outside the shell is equal to the electric field due to point charge when placed at a center, if both have equal amount of charge. So it tells us that the whole charge of the spherical shell is concentrated at a center, and produces the same equal amount of electric field at point P. Now P point is on the surface of spherical shell. So here I took a spherical shell of radius r. P is a point on the surface where we want to calculate the electric field having same distance from the center, that is capital R. To apply Gauss theorem, we should choose a suitable symmetrical Gaussian surface. So here I am choosing a very Gaussian surface which is just above the spherical shell. It is just above the spherical shell. Now, according to Gauss theorem, the total flux coming out of it, that is E dot ds around a surface integral, that is equal to total charge enclosed by divided by epsilon naught. So this part is our left hand side and this is our right hand side. So we start with the left hand side. So the total flux which is calculated by E dot ds around a closed spherical surface, Gaussian surface, that is here, since this Gaussian surface is just lying on the surface, so E is uniform. So I will take it outside the integration sign and that ds is left over here. So this is nothing but it is a total surface area. So here total surface area of this spherical Gaussian surface is 4 pi r square. Here, as the radius of the Gaussian surface is just above, that is approximately equal to the radius of spherical shell. So it is 4 pi r square. The right hand side says that 1 by epsilon naught total charge enclosed by the surface. So here this Gaussian surface is just above this spherical shell, means this Gaussian surface encloses this spherical shell. So whatever the charge is given to this spherical shell is enclosed by this Gaussian surface. So the total charge enclosed by it is equal to the total charge on the spherical shell, that is Q, and Q divided by epsilon naught. So this is our second equation from 1 and 2. So E 4 pi capital R square is equal to Q divided by epsilon naught. If I calculate E will be equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q by capital R square. So this is your electric field due to a spherical shell on the surface when point of observation is on the surface. In terms of surface charge density, that is sigma. So we know the surface charge density is charge per unit surface. The total charge will be equal to surface charge density into the surface area. So what is the surface area of the spherical shell? That is 4 pi capital R square. When you put this value, the electric field becomes 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught sigma 4 pi capital R square divided by capital R square. So here all the things cancel out and left sigma by epsilon naught. So this is your electric field on the spherical shell in terms of surface charge density. Here also the electric field E is inversely proportional to the square of radius. So just like a point charge. Now let us discuss the last case, that is electric field outside the spherical shell. Discuss the third case when the point of observation is inside the spherical shell. Let this is a spherical shell of radius capital R and Q charge is given to it, which is uniformly distributed over this shell. Here the thickness of the shell is negligible as compared to the radius. So I have not shown here the thickness or second layer of the spherical shell. Let P be the point inside the spherical shell at a distance of r from the center where we want to calculate the electric field. According to Gauss theorem, total flux coming out of it, closed Gaussian surface E dot ds is equal to total charge enclosed divided by epsilon naught. So this is our left. To apply a Gauss theorem, we should choose a closed Gaussian surface. So to draw a symmetrical closed Gaussian surface, I will draw a sphere of radius small r, which is shown by this dotted line. Now here I will divide this Gauss theorem into two parts, that is left hand side and right hand side. So let us start with left hand side. So here the total flux coming out of it is given by this equation E dot ds surface integral. Now here if you see, if you draw this one, this surface is equidistant from the spherical shell, so and also symmetrical, so we can say that E is uniform. As E is must be uniform or will be same, so E can be taken outside and ds is left with closed surface area. So this is what total closed surface area of Gaussian surface. So what is the total Gaussian surface area of this sphere? That will be equal to 4 pi small r square into E. So this is your left hand side. I took this equation as a 1. Now the right hand side. From right hand side, it is total charge enclosed divided by epsilon naught. So what is the total charge enclosed by this closed Gaussian surface? As whenever the charge is given to this shell, that the charge is distributed over this shell outside here, but no charge is inside this one. So mean to say that what is the charge inside this spherical shell? As the charge is outside the shell, no charge is inside one, so here the charge enclosed will be equal to 0. So right hand side becomes 0. From this equation 2, from 1 and 2, E into 4 pi r square is equal to 0. This tells us the electric field is equal to 0. So from this one, we conclude or we understood that the electric field inside a spherical shell is equal to 0. Now let us summarize all the three results all together. In first case we discussed that when P point is outside the shell, spherical shell, charged spherical shell, the electric field is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. Here r is greater than the radius. In second case, the electric field P point is on the shell. And the electric field is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q by capital R square, where r is equal to capital R. In the third case, the P is inside the shell, then the electric field is equal to 0. When P is inside the shell, the electric field is equal to 0. If I draw these three observations in a diagram, so this is your E, this is your radius. Here small r is equal to capital R. Here the electric field is equal to 0. In this case, the electric field dies out with radius. So here it dies out with the radius 1 upon r square. So this, it represents electric field is inversely proportional to 1 by r square. So this is the graphical representation which make us understand that electric field inside a spherical shell is 0 and outside or on the surface it is electric field is maximum and it keep on decreasing with the distance. Thanking you.